The Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is the most advanced big screen phone so far because it's much more than a phone. It's a highly evolved note-taking device. Samsung has made its most elegant looking phone yet with the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. The squared of edges combined with the sophisticated mystic bronze color give this handset a corner office vibe. The finish does a good job of resisting fingerprints. The massive 6.9-inch OLED Quad HD Plus display on the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is big, bold and colorful. More importantly, this is the first Samsung phone to offer a dynamic 120Hz refresh rate. The display is exceedingly bright and is fairly easy to read in direct sunlight. When using the display, scrolling is super smooth and fast. You can always choose 60Hz manually if you want to save battery life. The Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra features triple rear camera setup plus a laser autofocus sensor. The camera array starts with a 108MP wide camera with a 1.8 aperture and it's paired with a 12MP ultra-wide camera with a 120-degree field of view. The 12MP telephoto lens delivers a 5x optical zoom and up to a 50x super resolution zoom. The zoom lens delivers amazing quality. Every time you zoom into something, you will be surprised by the distance it covered and the details it captured. The Galaxy Note 20 Ultra's night mode is good, but it's not quite as bright or colorful as the iPhone 11 Pro. Pictures taken with this device delivers stunning quality with great details and colors. The Note 20 Ultra delivered better results than the iPhone 11 Pro in close-up shots. If you want to record the sharpest video possible, you will be pleased to know that the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra can record 8K video with a 21:9 aspect ratio. There's also a new Pro Video mode that lets you control the focus, exposure and zoom speed. The 12MP selfie camera up front has a 120-degree field of view, which should come in handy for group selfies. The Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra benefits from a swift 9ms response time for its S Pen, which is designed to deliver more of a pen-to-paper feel when taking notes or drawing. It's one of the fastest Android phones around and it's one of the first handsets with Qualcomm Snapdragon's 865 Plus processor. This chipset boosts the clock speed by up to 10% to 3.1 GHz and the graphics is also 10% faster than the regular Snapdragon 865 chip inside the Galaxy S20. This processor is paired with 12GB of RAM and either 128GB or 512GB of internal storage. As you would expect from a premium flagship, the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra supports both flavors of 5G. You will also appreciate the improved DeX experience, which is now completely wireless. Now you can beam what's on your Galaxy Note 20 Ultra screen to a compatible smart TV. The Galaxy Note 20 Ultra packs a pretty beefy 4500 mAh battery, which held up well in daily use. It comes with 25W fast charging. It also supports wireless charging and 9W reverse wireless charging. It offers a best-in-class display, a better S Pen experience and a boatload of new features for work and play. The cameras are stellar, fixing the focusing problem with the Galaxy S20 Ultra, and the powerful zoom and Xbox gameplay give the Note 20 Ultra an advantage over the upcoming iPhone 12. The Huawei P40 Pro Plus feels excellent in hand. The Pro Plus featured a quad curve overflow display, which means they have curved glass at all four edges. This device looks genuinely unique and recognizable in a sea of smartphones packing same design from the front. Available in high gloss black or white, a key differentiator between the P40 Pro and P40 Pro Plus is the material used around the back. Display itself is a 6.58-inch OLED panel with vivid colors, deep blacks and customizable color temperature and display options. Viewing angles and outdoor viewability are great. You can expect identical performance across the P40 Pro and P40 Pro Plus given the fact both pack Kirin 990 chipsets with 8GB of RAM. We found the Huawei P40 Pro Plus to be just as speedy as other top-end phones such as the Galaxy S20 or iPhone 11. The P40 Pro Plus packs a powerful rear camera setup equipped with 5 lenses. The main lens here is a 50MP sensor and a 40MP ultra-wide lens. The Pro Plus sports 2 telephoto snappers, both packing 8MP resolution. The first telephoto camera features a 3x zoom and the second features a 10x optical zoom. Both of these lenses feature optical image stabilization and there is a time-of-flight 3D depth sensing camera in the mix too. Through a combination of hardware and software, Huawei says the phone is able to achieve 100x zoom. As for the video recording capabilities of the Pro Plus, it comes with 4K video recording at 60fps. The front camera is among the best we have ever tested with 32MP of resolution and a secondary depth sensor for maximum impact selfies. This phone captures stunning details combined with dynamic range and excellent low-light performance to handle virtually any environment you shoot. The Huawei P40 Pro Plus has a 4200 mAh battery inside and its performance is fantastic. It can easily last a full day through intensive use. It also supports 40W fast charging and there's also 40W wireless charging too. It has a 6.78-inch display that packed with many features to enhance your viewing experience. It has an Ultra HD resolution with 10-bit color, a variable 120Hz refresh rate and a 240Hz touch input rate. There is also OPPO's Ultra Vision Engine chipset which can automatically upgrade 60fps video to 120fps to fit the screen rate. These features combine to deliver a screen that's vibrant and which should display content beautifully. There's no 3.5mm headphone jack here, so fans of wired headphones will be disappointed. The phone is IP68 protected though, so it's safe from dust and water to a high degree. There's plenty of reason to believe the OPPO Find X2 Pro will be a processing powerhouse. It's got the top-end Snapdragon 865 chipset and 12GB of RAM. The Snapdragon chipset endows the Find X2 Pro with super fast 5G connectivity as it has a 5G modem built-in. OPPO told us there won't be a 4G only X2 handset. The OPPO Find X2 Pro has 3 rear cameras, 2 of which are 48MP sensors, the main camera and an ultra-wide snapper, while the third is a 13MP telephoto snapper. This shooter has the same lens as the zoom module of the OPPO Reno 10X zoom, so it supports 5x optical, 10x hybrid and 60x digital zoom. There are a few interesting features OPPO has included, such as the phone's ability to capture RAW images. RAW files capture more brightness and color information than regular JPEG images, giving you more scope to process them in editing software, and an autofocus system based on Sony's alpha cameras. There's also 4K video recording at up to 60fps. On the front of the phone, there is a 32MP front-facing camera in the cutout segment. Overall, the Find X2 Pro produces excellent exposure and captures a good amount of detail, even in overcast weather. Colors are accurate and lean more towards the realistic side rather than being oversaturated. In terms of battery life, you are getting a 4260 mAh power pack, which would normally be pretty generous for a flagship phone. Although because of the large screen and high-end display tech, it may not actually last very long. The OPPO Find X2 Pro uses OPPO's 65W fast charging, which will apparently get the device from empty to 100% in 35 minutes or less. ONEPLUS has added the best display it's ever made on the 8 Pro, and the Chinese company says it's the best screen you will see on a phone for 2020. It is a 6.78-inch fluid display with a 120Hz refresh rate, HDR10+ support and QHD resolution. The OnePlus 8 Pro features a circular punch-hole camera cutout in the top left corner of the screen. The OnePlus 8 Pro is the first handset from the brand to carry an official IP rating, which means it's officially protected against dust and water. The phone features Qualcomm's top-of-the-line Snapdragon 865 chipset, which comes with Qualcomm's X55 5G modem to enable super fast internet speeds where 5G is available. The OnePlus 8 Pro packs 4 rear cameras, including a 48MP main camera with an 1.78 aperture. There's also a 8MP telephoto camera with a 3x optical zoom and ultra-wide 48MP camera with a 119° field of view and a dedicated 5MP color filter camera that lets you apply artistic filters as you are shooting. The OnePlus 8 Pro's main 48MP camera and wide-angle shooter take sharp and vibrant shots, especially in outdoor lighting. The dynamic range and color accuracy is great. In addition to that, the camera's 3x lossless zoom can take pictures without losing detail. It can also digitally zoom up to 30x, but the photo quality really degrades at this level. The camera can also shoot 4K video and has optical image stabilization. On the front, there is a single 16MP selfie camera which delivers stunning quality. Overall, the OnePlus 8 Pro cameras are a big improvement over the camera setups found on the 7 Pro and 7T Pro. The OnePlus 8 Pro comes with a sizable 4510 mAh battery, which is the biggest OnePlus has ever put in a handset. The OnePlus 8 Pro could comfortably last a day on a single charge with typical uses including gaming, video playback, social media, messaging, video calls and photography. The Sony XPERIA 1 Mark II comes with a 6.5-inch display that has a 4K resolution. It's a HDR OLED panel, However, the company has included a new feature that will allow for a 90Hz effect on the screen, but it doesn't simply use an actual 90Hz panel. Sony's latest flagship phone features a 3.5mm headphone jack on the top edge. The design is glass on the front and back, both of which are protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 6 technology, and it will come in either black or purple. It also has a full bezel at the top rather than a notch or punch hole. Inside the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II, there is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 chipset, which is one of the very best processors on the market. It offers some strong performance and be able to cope with all the tasks that most other top-end phones can do. The phone comes with 8GB of RAM to keep it running. Storage wise, you have got 256GB of space to play with here, and that's expandable with a microSD card. 5G is one of the big talking points of Xperia 1 Mark II. There's no 4G only variant of this phone. The camera is another area Sony's put a spotlight on. The camera includes a 12MP main sensor, a 12MP telephoto one with 3x optical zoom, and a 12MP ultra-wide sensor, alongside a 3D time of flight sensor that will offer groundbreaking autofocus technology. It's using a technology that Sony developed for its alpha range of cameras, and the aim here is to give you the best shot through stronger autofocus. This technology can completely autofocus and auto exposure calculations at 60 frames per second, while the camera itself can take 20 shots in burst mode each second. But Sony claims it improves autofocus for low light conditions as well as in everyday shooting. The phone can also record video in 4K HDR at up to 60 FPS. Pictures are amazing with this camera with its stunning dynamic range and color accuracy. On the front of the phone, there's an 8MP selfie camera, and Sony announced they have made significant improvements for front-facing shots. Sony has also made some big improvements to the battery on this device by increasing it to 4000 mAh on the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II, up from 3330 mAh on the Xperia 1. There's also fast charging here that will allow for up to 50% charge in 30 minutes.